you know what? It's also, there's places that sort of rest on their laurels too much. And whenever that happens, it's easy for another place to rise up that offers something more interesting. So, like, Los Angeles was always Los Angeles. And, like, when Gavin Newsom talks about California, it's like, you know, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. California has all this industry. Hey, they're all thinking about moving.
Thank God.
The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. If it was like every business could instantly pull up roots and replace everything and have everything running in a week at the other place, they'd all be gone. They'd all be gone. It's too expensive. It's too expensive to leave versus what you would save and the regulations that you wouldn't have to go through and all the with all the permits and all that. What California does is over-regulate everything. They get as much government involved as possible. They suck as much tax money out of you as possible, and then they still leave the place a mess. They still have homeless people everywhere. It's still a disaster. It's still a woke shit show of virtue signaling at every level of the government. Still. Like, no course correction at all. They're going further and further into la-la land. And you're like, Jesus Christ, you guys. And so then a place like Austin becomes attractive, you know?
So it's been a couple of years since Joe Rogan started constantly trashing California and its comedy scene while hyping up Austin and his own club there, the Mothership. And lately, it seems like a lot of comics have had enough of the nonsense he's been pushing, and more of them are starting to speak out against the Austin comedy scene. Now, to get a better sense of what Rogan's club is really like, let's hear from someone on the inside who knows the scene better than most, Shane Gillis.
Comedy movies are back.
True.
In a big way.
Pendulum swung.
Pendulum swung.
Pendulum's fully swung.
Maybe too far. Head down to the mothership, you go, oop.
Yeah.
Pendulum's maybe it swung a little too far. Not everyone has to say it.
True.
Every single set.
Right, so as expected, considering Rogan owns the club, it seems like from what Shane said, a lot of the comedy there is built around being offensive just for the sake of it. And this is just my opinion, but I don't think Rogan really cares about whether you are funny as much as he cares about you being offensive. That lines up perfectly with his anti-woke rhetoric and the way he constantly praises Trump. And honestly, when it comes to spotting real talent or people who are actually funny, Rogan's track record isn't great. After all, he's the guy who genuinely thought Brendan Schaub was hilarious. Now, some of you might still not be convinced that the Austin comedy scene has basically turned into a heaven for people whose only goal is to be edgy, because in their minds, edgy automatically means funny. But if you're still skeptical, just look at the comics who perform there, how they talk, how they carry themselves. A perfect example of that came up on Stavros' podcast, where he had Jordan Jensen on, a comic who regularly performs at the Mothership. At one point, Jordan tried pulling the classic Austin comedy move, taking cheap shots at trans people, and that's when Stavros gave the perfect response.
But I do think if you're trans, you're still queer in society.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where I land. You have gotten like Austin trans brain. Like you know what I mean? Like it really is at the top of your head.
No, because
you immediately brought it up as soon as the podcast started.
No, because this
Austin trans brain, I mean, that is the perfect way to describe what Rogan has built at his club since opening it. A crowd of comics who, if you ask them to tell a joke without being edgy, couldn't pull it off if their lives depended on it. Now, something similar to what you just saw happened on Bobby Lee's podcast when Ari Matty, a regular on Kill Tony, tried running the same kind of material that usually lands on that show, but when he tried it with Bobby, it felt flat, and Bobby ended up saying he's not a big fan of the Austin comedy scene or what most comics are doing there.
I want you, like if I meet you, you know when like you're hanging out with another comedian, he says the N-word around you for the first time?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a little trust that I'm in the circle.
Here we go. Let's talk about this real quick, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm not with that, what you guys are doing in Austin.
What do you mean?
Well, let's be real. I don't like some of the words you guys use freely.
Like what?
You It's like edgelord shit. It's like
Not all of it.
I know, but
there is
it's becoming
certain-
so hacky to me that people, you
100%.
guys use these words just for the shock factor. It's
100%.
like, I'm not into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the R word sometimes in a joke, maybe, right?
Yeah, sorry, my face is just crooked.
Yeah,
You know that.
yeah. But I would never say the N word in any environment
Okay.
except when I'm alone.
Yeah.
In my backyard going. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. I would never do that. There's another one. The F word I don't really use ever. You know what I mean? And I see Austin comic use it regularly.
It's in the contract.
It's in the contract. Yeah.
If you want to play in Austin, it's in the contract.
Yeah. So I don't know. This is my little tidbit. You know, I've talked about it with other people, and I
No.
Now let's switch perspectives and look at things from the point of view of someone performing there for the first time, what it actually feels like to step on the stage at the Mothership. Steph Tolev shared her experience doing just that on Andrew Santino's podcast. And let's put it this way, she's not exactly a fan of what Joe Rogan has done with the comedy scene there.
Have you done the Mothership?
I have.
You have? You like it? You enjoy it down there? Did you do Kill Tony?
No.
No. You didn't like it down there?
You see the adjusting of the sock?
You can be candid. Who cares?
No, I didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe at the Mothership. I got in
Didn't
trouble
suit
for
you?
being in the green room, apparently.
Oh, you did?
I got a security guard took me into the green room,
Took you right out.
and I was like, hello. And then apparently after I wasn't invited in, so apparently Joe was mad at me
That you were there.
that I was in the green room.
But he knows who you are. You've met
No,
before?
he doesn't.
Oh,
I
you
met
never
him that day. I got up. I go, hello, how are you? Great club. And then apparently I was ousted the next day.
Wow. What do you
I
think
don't
it
like
was?
the vibe there. I don't know. I mean, also I'm like, he could have just been like, get the fuck out of it. And like, your club.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
club, your
that's
rules.
right. Yeah.
But it wasn't that. It was the vibe of the. I did it again last year. It's the other comedians.
You don't like it?
It's very F word, retard. It's that women are stupid, women are unfunny, women are.
I haven't
duh.
disagreed with one thing you've said so far.
It was very misogynistic and homophobic, and I didn't like the vibe.
Yeah.
It was not I will say all the door guys were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And the club itself is set up. It's fucking incredible.
It is. It's a good club.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. Mitzi's the fucking bar, only having comics in there after. Like the whole that vibe was great.
Yeah.
But when I was in the room watching these comics, and the problem is I fucking killed. I fucking destroyed. And I was like, and I felt so comfortable on stage. I was like doing crowd work. I'm like, oh, this could be cool. But I'm like, that I have to listen to comics make fun of another gay comic for 15 minutes. Justin Martindale fucking murdered. And then
Yeah.
a comic went up after him and just said, he's a piece of shit for 15 minutes. I was like, this is bizarre behavior.
Made fun of the previous. Made fun of him.
After he murdered.
Right, so it pretty much lines up with what Elephant Graveyard described in his video, that the Mothership and the Austin comedy scene have basically turned into a cult. Joe Rogan sits at the top, watching over everyone to see if they pass the "Are you offensive enough" and "Are you anti-woke enough" test. Also, from what Steph described, it doesn't sound like a very welcoming place for new comics, something Dan Soder also pointed out on his podcast.
From what I've heard from people that I know in Austin, it is like the alternative for like you can like the Comedy Mothership is so tight knit,
Right.
and it's I also heard it's not a fun hang if you're an Austin comic.
What, the Mothership?
If you're not like in with Rogan and his crew, if you're coming up, it's not like the Cellar. The Cellar, you could sit at the bar and feel awkward.
Yeah.
I've heard the Mothership, you have to get past Navy SEALs to get into the green room.
Right. I love Rogan. I love the club. I think it's perfect, and I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no idea, and every time I go there,
Fucking-
I feel joy in my heart.
You fucking
Only club that when
bootlickers.
they go, do you want to come? I go, yes, before they even say, and then I feel joy.
Yeah, and he swung me. I'm I'm all in on Trump.
Oh, my God, dude.
Smart guy. Very smart.
Yeah,
Very little corruption.
I just
Nice.
bought Max, me and Max, bow and arrows, compound bows. We started shooting. And
So you won't have your Zuckerberg moment with Rogan when he asks you what kind of bow you have?
Oh, I don't know what that means. Does he shoot a bow too? Oh, he does. Oh, it's just coincidence then. I love elk meat too. That's cool that's coming.
Dude, the thing I've brought it up before, but I bring it up every time. When Joe Rogan posts a picture of elk meat, just go see who likes it.
Really?
Because it's the most bootlicking shit in the world. You're like, you fucking pussies.
I got to tell you though.
There's like cool meat.
As a fat
Cool meat, you
fuck,
fucking loser.
he always posts it.
I mean, this whole thing Dan Soder talked about went on for years. Basically, a bunch of comedians kissing Joe Rogan's ass just to climb the ladder. And of course, that led to these so-called free speech warriors refusing to ever criticize the cult leader, terrified they'd piss him off and lose their shot at being on his podcast, which probably explains the ego-inflated Rogan we see today, considering he's surrounded by nothing but a bunch of yes men. Now let's move on to Mark Normand and Big J, who questioned the comedians that chose to move to Austin, and they also brought up the idea that Rogan might have oversold the opportunities those comics expected to find once they got there.
What's New York's take on Austin?
Oh, it's a punchline, for sure.
Really?
I like Austin. I like the Mothership's great. And
you have to say that.
Yeah, really. I know. Shane's down there. It's I like Brian Simpson. I like I like all the guys. But
the extreme move out there was ridiculous.
I would never move there.
I think the move out there was ridiculous.
I think
it's 100 people moving there to try to get one of 8 spots available at Mothership.
And they keep saying, "Hey, it's a boom, a comedy boom," but it's one club.
One club, and the Creek in the Cave.
There's
Creek in the Cave and Cap City. That's it. Really? Everything else is a bar.
Yeah.
I think what Rogan really did was convince or manipulate, depending on how you see it, a bunch of comics into moving to Austin, knowing his empire would start to crumble without people around him to hype him up and treat him like a boss at a 9-to-5. Especially early on, the quality of his podcast guests would have dropped, and most would have been people nobody had ever heard of. So naturally, Rogan had to come up with a plan to keep the empire alive. So he started selling a dream, making big promises about what Austin and his comedy club were supposed to be, promises that, if we're being honest, seem far from reality. Interestingly, another conversation about the Austin comedy scene came up on Santino's podcast, this time with Joe DeRosa.
There's something about the place that I'm just not...
the place you mean Austin?
Yeah, the Mothership Austin, that's all one.
You just mean, so you're talking about just this whole concept of Austin comedy.
Yeah, Austin comedy.
Look, man, it's funny to me because I'm having a great time down there and I feel like it was absolutely the right place for me to go. But I'm also never one to try to push people towards a scene or anything like that because I've loved some scenes and I've despised others, Yeah. So I get that every place isn't for everybody, but it's just so funny to me, dude. Like when when I'm down there, it doesn't feel this thing that that the podcasting world and the media world has orchestrated about the Austin comedy scene. Is so crazy.
But it is a scene. They created something.
No, it's a scene. But I'm just saying but it's a scene. It's a comedy scene. It's most cities have some sort of comedy scene to varying degrees. You know what I mean? But when I came to LA, the country wasn't talking about the LA comedy scene. New York, that wasn't, you know what I mean?
Because we originated in these two places. It's different.
Yeah, because it's a newer scene. You're saying.
That's what I mean. It's still new. You know what I mean? I don't want to see people still on their training wheels.
Well, that's part. There's younger comics, but then there's established comics.
No, I know there's both. I'm not saying that. I just mean the scene itself is figuring itself out. I'll wait till it's over. I'm waiting for the beta testing to be done.
Now, if I'm being honest, I think the Austin comedy scene showed its true colors a long time ago. Mark Maron summed it up perfectly. It's basically a group of hack comedians who figured out how to virtue signal to a right-wing audience by echoing the same tired talking points, being anti-woke and anti-trans. And these days, that alone can build you a massive career. You don't even have to be funny. Just say you're anti-trans or that you love Trump, and suddenly you've got an audience. So yeah, I don't blame Santino for wanting nothing to do with that scene.
Certify this. Let me just stamp this.
What's that?
There's a lot of people down there that I do love. I think my issue with it...
Wait, COVID?
The Austin thing.
Okay.
No, the issue that I was trying to articulate, I don't know how to say it. Because
I could tell you were a little nervous. It sounded like you were shitting on it, and you weren't shitting on it.
No, I'm not. I don't care.
You were, but
no, I am shitting on it partially. I mean, partially, I think it's fucking clown fart bullshit.
But what's clown fart bullshit?
There's some of the fuckhead dickheads down there.
Well, there's dickheads everywhere, though.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So I don't need to leave dickheads to go see more dickheads.
But there's dickheads everywhere you go.
I know, dude. I hate it.
Yes. My point is this is my point. You go, if you're going to live somewhere to partake in a scene and being near it is helpful, then you obviously got to go that clicks with you. And I love Austin for that. It really works for me. Yeah. And New York worked for me for a long time, too.
And LA.
LA, I didn't care for.
Did not work for you.
No, I didn't care for it. But my point is any criticism you could have of the Austin scene, you could easily have of the New York and LA scene.
Of course you can. Yeah, no, that's true.
So my thing is like this media tornado around all of it, where every article that gets written talks about like the male gaze of Austin comedy and the manosphere and all this stuff. I'm just like, it's all bullshit. Like none of that's real. And then it makes even somebody like you, who's not really worried about any of that, right?
No, it's more.
It puts this haze over it before you even get there.
No, it's only
something.
because because I think I can't find the right words. I'm not a smart enough person, but it's also because like Big Brother Joe is there, and when he left, Rogan was like trying to tell a lot of us to like be like, you got to get the fuck out of LA, and this became a narrative of like, fuck LA sucks, dude. Fuck LA, and all these people were like kind of ringing this thing. I mean, you may not have heard this, but that was like a constant.
No, I was one of the people saying it.
Yeah, it was annoying. It was annoying. It was annoying. There's just so many people being like, get out, get out, get out. But it's like, I'm not fucking getting out to stream down there. Just relax. Like, so I think that annoyed me. So then I was like, well, I'm not bringing my ball. I'm not going to come play with you guys because you fucking pissed me off. You're like, you got to go to this restaurant. This restaurant is the best. You don't think I'm the best. I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not going to eat the fucking food. Just relax.
That's
what it is.
Well,
this annoying, like, you got to get out of LA, dude. What are you even doing there?
I get that.
Thank God for Santino because he nailed it, perfectly describing what Rogan and so many comics who kissed his ass have been doing for years, hyping up Austin and talking about how amazing it is while trashing LA and painting California as some kind of a wasteland. But at this point, we've heard from plenty of comics sounding the alarm that maybe Austin isn't quite the comedy paradise Rogan makes it out to be. And that brings us to Rogan himself, suddenly pissed off that these same comics dare to criticize the Austin scene and his club. It's a perfect example of his hypocrisy. Shitting on the LA scene for years was totally fine, but the moment anyone calls out Austin, suddenly it's off limits.
This is another thing that pisses me off about all these comics talking shit about the Austin scene. There's so many things going on here. This idea...
so many clubs.
People have like made this, again, this straw man. Like you have to have an N-word joke and you have to have a trans joke. Like that fucking club is so diverse.
Incredibly diverse.
But naturally.
Yes.
With no effort. It's all just funny people.
Who's the funniest?
People are funny in all shapes and sizes from all walks of life. Whatever struggle you've had that manifests itself in humor.
That's right.
Exists. There's tons of people in that club that are gay. Most of the comedians,
handicapped.
Most of the comedians, by the way, are liberal.
Yes.
So that throws that out the window.
Correct.
This whole idea that it's some fucking right-wing comedy club. Like, stop it. Most of the people there are liberal.
Correct.
Most of them.
Correct.
But it's just this walled garden thing when people are on the outside and they're like there hasn't been a scene here before.
Right.
And then you have the scrubs that were here, like they ruined the comedy scene. Like you guys had nothing.
Shut up.
You shut your
up.
Stupid lazy hole. You had nothing.
Right.
There was you didn't even have a comedy club. When I moved here, Cap City was closed. You know how I know? Because I was gonna buy it.
Right.
I went to look at the fucking place where Cap City used to be and I was gonna purchase it.
Yeah.
That's how I know it was under.
Good club now.
It's the new one.
Yeah,
That's a different
the new
one.
one. Yeah.
The old one was great too, though,
Right.
which is like an event
Loved
center
it,
now.
yeah.
But yeah, the new one is great. And,
No, but the
there's more
Mothership brought a
comedy.
bunch of comedy here, so there are a lot of other clubs that are really fun. Creek in a Cave.
Because we made it so that, first of all, you've got a club that has 2 days of open mic nights, and you've got a real guy in Adam Egan, who's a real talent coordinator that really helps the development of comedians. And he does it really like consciously.
Takes it very seriously.
Takes it very seriously, and he's like, he really loves comedy, and he really wants to help people, and he gives great advice, and he
Adam's
gives people
amazing.
spots.
Adam actually watches sets. Like
Yes.
he sits in the audience and
he
watches
takes his
that
job
shit.
very seriously.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean that's why I brought him in. I mean, he and I were the founders of the Mothership. I mean, it was like we did it together.
Wow.
I wouldn't have done it without him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it without him and without Kerry and a lot of the people that came from the store.
Yep.
And this is a place that it's new. And so if you're on the outside and you're not in, you try to find some criticism. That's like criticism is fine if you're telling the truth. But there's a bunch of people that are making things up because they're trying to attack something that they can't be a part of.
That's right.
And
I mean, it's the same tired excuse Rogan uses all the time. Suddenly, if you criticize him, that must mean you're jealous of him. It couldn't possibly be that someone just has a valid criticism. But I guess in Rogan's brain that never computes. And the idea that the mothership is some kind of liberal paradise, I mean, who actually believes that? I doubt even Rogan does. But I guess when you're dealing with someone as delusional as Rogan, you can't really expect much else. That being said, I do think most comics are starting to get tired of the Austin comedy scene, with some even trying to distance themselves from Rogan and his cult.